Hey girl, are your healthy habits all over the place or non-existent? Do you wish you could find true food freedom, move your body for joy, and really just talk a little nicer to yourself? If you have tried to habit hack your health, but the strategies you've tried just haven't worked for you in your busy lifestyle, then this podcast is for you. Hey, I'm Emily Nichols, habit and fitness coach, behavior change specialist, and Taco Tuesday enthusiast. Hey, I'm here to tell you there is an easier way than what we've been taught about our health and our habits. How do I know? Well, because I've transformed my own life through habit hacking, and now my family gets the best of me, and I now help my clients do the same. I'm now going to teach you how to create healthy habits in less time, guilt-free for all seasons of your life. It's not your fault your habits haven't worked, my friend. We just have to do them differently. So, are you ready to feel empowered and transform your habits and life? Then let's do this. Hey gang, welcome to Habit Hack Thursday. I'm so happy you are here. I feel like this week's Habit Hack is very timely for this time of year, and we're going to be talking about movement to regulate your nervous system and de-stress. Now, this can be used at any time of the year, but during the holiday season, I feel like we're maybe a little extra stressed. Maybe we're a little extra overstimulated, right? You're getting all these extra emails to your inbox. You're decorating your house. So maybe your house is a little more extra cluttered, even though it's beautiful Christmas decorations. Or maybe your inbox is blowing up and you're starting to get overwhelmed thinking about the new year and the Christmas gifts that you still need to get for so-and-so and this one little gift that your kiddo wants that you can't find. And oh my goodness. This is why we as women have to do habits differently, right? We have all of these tabs open in our head. And that's why a lot of times we don't take care of ourselves because we are so overstimulated and so stressed out that it feels extra stressful to even try to do something for ourselves, like just take care of our health when we know it will serve us, right? Or sometimes we go the complete opposite direction, right? Especially with movement. I personally see this because I know a lot of folks use movement as a way to de-stress, as a way to monitor their mental health, to enhance their mental health. I'm here for that. I always say movement is more mental and emotional, spiritual, and then physical. But sometimes we can take it to the extreme. Right? So I want to talk about kind of finding a nice balance and some things for you to take into consideration when it comes to movement this time of year to de-stress and not to add more stress to the way you're feeling. So first, let's talk about what it means to regulate your nervous system. So nervous system regulation at its core is the ability to move flexibly between different states of arousal in response to stressors. This is straight from Google, right? So this means that we encounter a change in our environment, so like a stressful situation, and we can adopt so that we are not overwhelmed. We can adapt so we're not overwhelmed. I feel like we're living in a state of overstimulation, and sometimes when something happens which can raise our cortisol levels or a stressful event happens, it can totally derail us mentally and physically, or we can use movement as a way to deal with when life stressors get in the way. Now, I know sometimes with the new year coming up, you may already be doing this, or you may try to go to the extremes in January as well. We've all been there, right? That motivation is super high at the beginning of the year, but sometimes when you go too hard, try to do too many habits at once, that's why they always joke, by February, the gym is empty and your New Year resolutions or goals are out the door. We don't want that for you. We want it focused on core values and training for life and a system to slowly integrate these healthy habits into your life where it's a lifestyle and not like a diet plan, right? I'm preaching to the choir though. That's why you listen to this show. I want to help you use movement to de-stress and not use movement to the extreme that could cause more stress, okay? So I want you to take this into consideration when it comes to movement this time of year, the new year, any time of year really, and make sure you're using movement in a strategic way, because we as women have to do habits differently. It's easier for our cortisol levels to be spiked up due to certain workouts or overtraining, and then it's harder for it to come down versus men, right? So let's talk about it. So long, intense cardio, like long distance running or very long extended HIIT cardio workouts, can increase your cortisol levels, especially if you're doing this like every day and without proper recovery, right? Or maybe you're overtraining. Excessive or intense workouts without sufficient rest and recovery can lead to chronically elevated cortisol levels. Pushing your body just beyond its limits consistently, right? I'm all for a hard workout sometimes where you're like, oh man, this is really challenging. I'm lifting heavy or I'm running faster than I ever thought I could. I'm here for that, right? That trains your brain that you can do hard things. But pushing your body beyond its limits, like every single day, can stress the system and elevate your cortisol. And hence you don't see the results you want to have. So you train harder and then you burn out, then you do nothing, right? Or maybe it's lack of sleep, right? Workouts done when you're sleep deprived can contribute to higher cortisol levels. Poor sleep impacts your body to really regulate this cortisol effectively. So high stress workouts. So certain HIIT routines, especially those that are intense and lengthy without proper recovery, can spike your cortisol levels. And you're probably like, Emily, you're a coach at Orange Theory. Yes. And you will hear me say till the day I die, if you have taken a class with me, I'm like, are you taking rest days? Are you coming in and taking a green day, which means just hanging out in zone 2 cardio, right? Just moving your body, right? And we'll talk about some various other movements here in a moment. I'm here for a fine balance in between that, okay? So next, inadequate nutrition. So working out without proper nutrition can really stress your body and elevate your cortisol levels. So maybe you're restricting your calories a lot because it's the new year. You're like counting your macros and like meal prepping like crazy. And maybe you have like low blood sugar and just not enough food, and it can trigger cortisol release. And then lastly, just chronic stress, right? When really hard, intense workouts with no rest are added to an already stressful life and schedule, they can contribute to that overall stress and increase in your cortisol. So what's my suggestion? So I'm a certified personal trainer. I've been a group fitness instructor for years. I am a big fan of multiple forms of movement. If you take into consideration, like say you go to Orange Theory like 3 days a week, great. You're taking proper rest days in between. You're pushing your body. You're feeling good. You're getting that dopamine, and you're able to regulate your cortisol a little bit more versus going every single day without a break. On those other days, you can opt in for like zone 2 cardio, going for walks, ride your Peloton for joy. That's my favorite thing, 2 to 3 days a week. I ride my Peloton and I just pick a ride based off the playlist, right? If it's like 2000s hip hop, I am there. Sign me up. And a real focus on weight training, right? We need to have more muscle mass as women because as we age, that helps burn fat. We lose muscle mass as we age. It's going to help you feel strong from the inside out and help balance those cortisol levels a little bit more. Yoga. I'm a big fan of yoga. I'm trying to get my yoga cert done, and even breathing exercises. So I'm not saying you can't go like hard on workouts. I'm saying there's a fine balance. And we teach this inside of the Accelerator program, specifically when we talk about challenges around movement and what diet culture has taught us about movement and exercise and reframing the way we see this as women. We're built differently, right? We have our hormones, these cortisol levels are raising, and sometimes we're all or nothing. And that's when we get burnout and we don't see the results from our workouts. I want you to take really good care of yourself and think about, how can my workouts regulate my nervous system instead of adding to the stress? You might not even realize you're doing it, right? And that's okay. So of course I have a habit loop for you around this. So a cue, routine, reward. We have over 60 habit loops inside of the Healthy Habits Accelerator pod course around food freedom, mindset, movement, to give you some ideas of things you can be doing to habit hack your health in these areas in a very systematic way that I teach and provide tools as well inside of the accelerator. So a cue, maybe you're feeling stressed. We've been there. The routine, move your body with intention, right? So maybe today you're going to do a HIIT workout, but tomorrow you're going to follow up with zone 2 cardio, or you're going to just walk and do some yoga today, the next day. I love that. The reward is you're regulating your nervous system, right? You feel de-stressed. You feel good after moving your body, and the stress doesn't continue throughout the day because you are just running yourself ragged. This will help you adapt quicker and quicker to stressful situations that happen in life because, friend, there will always be stressful situations in life. Movement, in my opinion, is my highest form of self-care. But over the years, I've found a way, because I've burnt myself out too, going hardcore. Like back in 2019, I was training for a half marathon, going to Orange Theory and running like a mad woman. And after that, my cortisol levels were just sky high. I actually went and got them read, and she was like, girl, So we talk more about mindful movement and habit hacks specific to women all around my Atomic Habits for Women philosophy inside of the Accelerator pod course. You might be like, what's a pod course? It is my course in a private podcast audio form only, because I know you like listening to podcasts because you're here and you're able to take it on the go. So it's available in the show notes for you at any time. Let me know when you grab it. You can always add on a one-on-one call and we can jam on some custom habit hacks for you. So friend, thank you so much for joining us today for Habit Hack Thursday. We'll be back next week with our second top episode of the year. It's been really fun revisiting these with you and making sure that I'm providing you the habit hacks to help you specifically to what you need, and I'm here for it. I'm excited for 2024 and providing you a space to feel seen, to feel heard, and to take action in regards to taking care of your health. All right, girl, I will see you next week. Hey girl, real quick before you go, did you know I have a secret podcast where I talk all about why most habit strategies don't work for us women? Spoiler alert, it's not our fault. Visit bit.ly/Atomic Habits for Women, it's linked in the show notes, to access my secret podcast series and have your biggest aha moment about why and how women have to do habits differently. And if you love the podcast, the number one way you can thank me is to leave a rating and review in iTunes. That way more mamas can find the show. Love and appreciate you, friend. We'll see you next time.